is where I went last time.
Cool.
Let's see.
Is it in Bedsport?
No,
Then it's not
All
real.
right, guys.
that's fine. They can watch the show.
We are now live with week 14. Just give it about 30 seconds. We'll let our one user. By the way, our average watch time is like 15 seconds, guys.
Yes.
It's pretty cool, huh?
That's me clicking on the video to see if we have any users or views.
They're counting 15 seconds as you scroll by.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. We're setting the world on fire. Solving the world's problems here.
No.
All right. Welcome to the show, guys. This is the Square Show where us three professional pickers pick teams for the week, college teams, mainly SEC and ACC. We got on standby today. He looks like he's in a. He looks like he's got some kind of pink lighting behind him, but
I don't know what's going on.
he definitely has a Florida hat on. This is Reversion Ronnie. He's the hottest picker we got right now. He's probably like 47-0. At least that's probably what he's going to tell you. How you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah. 22
And then
and 6. 22 and
yeah,
6. So pretty
then
good.
and then the other guy we have up here on top of the screen. This is Rebound Ricky, and Ricky, it looks like you're wearing a Florida Gators jacket, dude. I can't see the Miami.
Hurricanes, baby. Hurricanes.
Too much orange on this show, dude. I'm gonna quit.
Yeah, that's what's going on
All
about
right.
lighting. I had to add some orange to it just to give it the full effect.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah.
$15 webcam I bought, one of the two.
I like it, dude. It's setting the mood, especially with that bed back there.
Next week.
All right, welcome. All right, guys. We got last week. We were all stuffing our faces with turkey, and I know Ricky was on a super spreading COVID tour around South Florida. So we weren't here last week, but we got a lot to talk about this week. So, a couple things we want to mention. They're not football related. Was dude, this Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight, celebrity fight. So first of all, let me go around the room here. So, did anybody purchase the fight?
No,
Nope.
Ricky?
I wish I would have, but I didn't.
Now,
Just
okay,
because,
I'll be honest. If I would have been in Pensacola at
yes.
home having some Jack Daniels, I probably would have ended up buying it because I would have done some sucker thing or gone to Ale House or something. But
Yeah.
I was down in South
People in
Florida,
the
so
house.
so I was down in South Florida, so I didn't end up buying it.
Oh, okay.
But I did immediately see the memes all over the place in Twitters of Nate Robinson being put to sleep by a YouTuber.
I did see that. Yeah, that was.
So
Oh, that was the
anybody thinks
undercard,
that
right?
it was the co-main event.
Yeah.
So for anybody that thinks just because you're an athlete you should be able to beat somebody's ass, apparently that's not true. Even if you're a
The other guy
world-class
had to be a
athlete.
boxer, though, right? Like, he had to be a
No,
boxer.
he trained for like a year and a half. They said.
Okay. Well, I feel like if I trained for a year and a half, I would be like a way better. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know. I would take Nate Robinson in a year and a half.
yeah. The guy's terrible. But now
Well,
he's calling out Conor McGregor. He wants Conor McGregor next and all this other stuff. Like, get the
The
hell out of
YouTube
here.
guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll pay to see that.
Yeah.
Pay per view that. Heads roll.
y- yeah, that's pretty shocking. I mean, to think an NBA All Star, former NBA All Star, just could go out there and get put to sleep by a YouTube dude. Although the YouTube dude may be some undiscovered athletic talent that no one knows about, so we don't know
Yeah.
yet. But at the end of the day, it does seem surprising. It seems like he could jump around enough not to get hit. But
I do know that I think those YouTube guys were like state champion wrestlers in Ohio back in high
Yeah.
school. So they
oh,
do have some
that
athleticism.
okay. So
Yeah. You're
that
assuming it
that
was
that would
me, like,
explain it.
being on YouTube and, like,
Yeah.
punching Nate Robinson. Like, that wasn't the
Okay.
case.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
that would definitely explain it because wrestlers are some of the toughest dudes I've ever met, man.
yeah, for sure.
So
But
yeah.
I heard a lot of MMA guys and boxing guys actually come out and say they were happy that happened to Nate Robinson because just like people that think they could fight no matter just because they're some kind of athlete or whatever, or and that you don't want to mess with a boxing dude. If a guy that actually knows how to box just a little bit is going to put you to sleep. So and that's what he did. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you guys think about Tyson Jones fight? To me, I'm thinking, hats off to him. I heard it was a pretty decent little fight. It's like two 50-year-old dudes, just wanted to get it over with and go smoke weed, but it seems like it was a pretty good fight.
That's what
well,
Tyson
Tyson
said.
came out and said he was high during the fight.
He said he was smoking during the fight.
Huh?
Yeah, he said he was smoking during the fight.
Yeah,
Tyson said that. Yeah, during the thing.
yeah. I don't think he was actually smoking during the fight, but that he was high during the fight, I 100% believe.
So,
I'm just
Ronnie,
happy because. Sorry, go ahead.
no, Ronnie, are you saying that he would go sit in the corner for his break and smoke
That's
weed?
what he said.
That would be awesome.
I didn't see the fight, but I saw his post fight conference, whatever, and that's what he said in that. He said he was just happy to make it the distance.
I mean, don't you think it's kind of a miracle that no one died of a heart attack, or they didn't kill each other, or kill each other?
I kind of feel like it's more likely that one of us would die of a heart attack in 8 rounds than one of those two guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they went 8 rounds, dude. They're in their 50s. As much coke as Tyson's taken over the years, you would think he wouldn't last that long. But damn, man, my hat's off to him. Those dudes that just shows you how weak we are, dude.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyson looked just as jacked as he ever was. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I heard that, I didn't see the fight, but I heard that either the first or second round, Tyson got a pretty good, body shot. And then Roy Jones was just like, I'm tying him up for the rest of the fight because he didn't want to mess with that anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Tyson said he was really quick, and he didn't really get that many good shots on him. But the ones he did, he kind of played possum a little bit, didn't let him show it if it hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the heyday, those are some fights.
Yeah, that fight never would have happened in the heyday. Tyson would have murdered him because he's, fighting 50 pounds heavier weight limit. So
that would have been an interesting fight though, because Roy Jones is so fast. That was the thing when I'm growing up watching. He was so much faster than everybody. It was like it wasn't even a fight.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved Y'all Must Have Forgot, his rap album back in the day for Roy Jones.
Blast in the locker room. That's what it was for me in high school.
So I mean, I loved Roy Jones, but Mike Tyson in his prime. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Just because mainly size more than anything. He's just way bigger than Roy Jones. He didn't look much bigger, but he definitely was in the prime.
But Ricky, you do realize some dude named Buster Douglas knocked his ass out, right?
Yeah, that's when he was already cocky, and he came back and killed him. So
yeah,
he didn't even train for the fight. He just went.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk, if you guys are done with that, is, and I want to say this before we talk about it. We are on a live streaming show, so just be careful what you say. But and I of course I know Ricky, Ronnie. I know you both. You're not going to say anything that would get you in trouble here. I know you guys, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of that before I bring this topic up. But we had our first D1 kicker, female kicker in the SEC over the weekend with Vanderbilt Sarah Fuller doing a kickoff. It looked like a pooch kick to me, or a squib kick down to right hand side of the field. It wasn't returned, and then she was, kind of celebrated after that. So that's kind of a first. We'll go around the room here and get your thoughts, and just be mindful that we are live streaming and we don't want to say anything that gets us in trouble.
Yeah, I'll start off if you want, Ronnie. So I would first like to say, if she's a college keeper and seems like it's at a good team, because I think Vanderbilt was the SEC champions for soccer and women's soccer. I'm pretty sure she could have put that ball very close to the end zone, if not through the end zone, being a college goalkeeper. I'm sure she had plenty of leg strength. So I thought it was kind of a cop-out for them to do those pooch kicks. Ronnie, I know when you were watching, I think Game Day or something, you were saying, I don't know if she has the leg strength because it looked like they were pooch kicking. But I think it was because they were purposely doing that, not because of leg strength at all. And I just thought it was a cop-out. I mean, power to her that she's the first woman that played and everything. But, I mean, I would have liked – sucks that she played for Vanderbilt, so, they weren't going to have a chance to score a field goal at all.
Right.
But I would have rather them kicked it off and seen what happened, because first of all, how many plays does a kicker get laid out in a kickoff return? And then say it did get to her and she got laid out, or maybe she made a tackle, or maybe she got trucked, there would be a lot more respect from, hey, you decided to play the game like as if you were anybody else, and you were gonna fight. So
Yeah,
that's my only problem with it.
Yeah, you could have trucked her because that was a no-win situation for whoever did that. So it just wasn't going to work out for him.
I don't know that. I don't think anybody would have blamed any dude for trucking her if that, like, if you purposely deliberately went after her and said, "I'm gonna go get you," but if you were just performing a block and you laid her out, I don't think anybody would have gone after her.
Everybody on this podcast, yes, that would agree. Between the three of us, we all agree with that. Anybody that doesn't, sports isn't their thing, yeah, that's going to be all over CNN. There's no way. Now, when I played hockey in high school, we had a dude on our team. We called him the wife beater because every time there was a girl on the other team, and like that was the situation. Like we're playing hockey, it's kind of hard not to have contact. And every now and then there'd be a girl like on the Baton Rouge team or the Little Rock, Arkansas team, and you know, he, he didn't care. He would lay them out just like anybody else. And that was just part of it. Because she wanted
That's
to
the right
play.
thing to do.
She had the puck. She wanted to play.
Yeah.
You can't play favorites or anything like that. But to this, for the Vanderbilt kicker, like she's probably a better athlete than all of us. She looks like in the pictures with her teammates, she's like head and shoulders above everybody else. She probably looks like a defensive end there on the sidelines. She's enormous, and she probably could kick the crap out of it. When I first saw it, I did think it was like a little, she jacked it up, didn't really get all of it or something like that. But going back and looking at it, because I knew we were going to talk about it, it was definitely a pooch kick. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw Kirby Smart. They asked him about it because that game got canceled now, so we won't find out what was going to happen in that game. But Kirby Smart, they said, "How are you going to prepare for it?" He's like, "I'm going to. When has anybody ever prepared for a kicker? I don't care. It's a kicker. Like, I'm not going to treat her any different." Well, and they were saying like, "Well, what? Are you going to tell your people to lay?" He's like, "No. If she's on the field, I'm going to treat her like any other player." So, I thought that was smart of him to say it like that. So
yeah. I mean, props to her. She was asked the week before, 6 days before the game, to practice, and good for her.
Cool. What about
you, Steven? Are you honeypotting tonight, man? Nah, I just to me it looked a little bit staged. I wish they would just put her in the game. Had her on the team in the very beginning of the year. Let her get, go, be part of the team the whole year. And they may have. I don't really know the whole backstory, I guess, but I had heard that she just recently joined the team or whatever. So I just wish they had let her. Just wish they'd let her come out there and kick a normal kick, or even like kick a field goal or something, and not even, to me it seemed like they just ran her out there for that one kick. They pooched it so she wouldn't have a return, just so she could get in the record books or whatever. And that's fine. Good for her. My hat's off to her. So I just think there can't be a double standard here, though. If they're going to run her out there to kick and then it gets returned, then, she may be facing like a 230-pound D1 athlete, and she's going to have to fend for herself, and no one should say anything about it. So I'll be interested to know that when that happens, what the conversation is at that point. But other than that, my hat's off to her. She made history. So,
could you imagine though if you got blindsided, slacked by her? She just figured she lays.
You have to
and that's the way the sword works. Is it cuts both ways, right? I mean, she may lay somebody out, but that's why they're going to be hyper vigilant on the other side too. So
ain't gonna be me. That ain't gonna be me.
Yeah. So my hat's off to her. I just think any real team that was trying to win a game wouldn't do wouldn't stage such events. I just would, Vanderbilt, that's fine, but serious teams wouldn't do it just for the publicity. I think that's why they did it. At least that's why I guess Derek Mason knew he was getting fired that night, so he did it. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hats off to her. Good luck in the future. Hope she comes back. And the other thing I wanted to cover, non-football related, was this Texas kid who body slammed the ref. So this is something Ricky brought up. I haven't seen the video. I heard my wife watching it. I heard her, watching it in a video. I didn't see it, but I heard it was pretty bad. So
Yeah, he basically, I didn't see why he was pissed off, but basically the ref ejected him and he immediately ran from the sidelines and he kind of just like chest checked him, kind of just try to just ran straight into him and the guy just ate it. And then he got escorted off by cops. Apparently he was like the team's best player. That was the game to get them to the playoff game. So I'm sure he's, out for the rest of the season now, probably disqualified, might get some charges on him. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I was talking to Ronnie about it earlier. There's definitely been times I wanted to fight a ref for sure. The one time in particular, I remember a guy told me to shut up, you little punk. And I was about 16 at that point, and this kid was probably 19. And I was so close to laying him out. And this is during a soccer game. But other than that, I got pissed, but I've never been close to putting my hands on a ref. It's taking it to the next level for sure. Especially that guy had enough time to run from the sideline to hit the ref and thinking about it that whole time. So the rage he must have had, not any time during that did he think like, man, I probably shouldn't do this. This is going to end badly. So it'll be interested to hear if there's like some side of the story we don't know about. Like, does this ref know him and said some crap about somebody, or I don't know.
Sounds like star player syndrome.
Yeah,
I'm the dude. I can get away with what I want.
Do you guys remember that the pro player Richie Incognito? It sounds like something he would do, or his son. Is he from Texas?
Isn't that the one that bullied the Miami Dolphins lineman?
Yeah, made him cry. He was always doing some just stupid shit, dude. He was funny.
But that dude he bullied, his mom was like general counsel for Toyota. It's like, it was just the weirdest situation where, like, if you're gonna bully anybody, don't bully the dude whose mom is like a nationally known lawyer or something.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, first of all, I think we've got to all come to the consensus on a definition of bullying. If you are over 250 pounds, I don't think you can be bullied. It's just not possible. I don't care if the other person is 300 pounds.
That's a good point.
It was another lineman, right? It was another lineman.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, 300 pounds.
Yeah, like Mike Pouncey, like he like got mad at Mike Pouncey too. So it was obviously like some kind of internal locker room thing, and he didn't want to play ball.
Yeah. So. Yeah, obviously the lineman didn't go to Florida because he would have got capped in the parking lot if he would.
Yeah, I think the kid was from Stanford, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was from Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just everything you need to know.
Yep, exactly. Soft ass.
Yeah. It's the rules apply.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was an interesting week of non-football related stuff there. As far as games, guys, I can't even remember any games from last week. So you guys are gonna have to fill in if you want to talk about any games. The only game I remember was the Alabama game without Saban. But other than that, that's it for me.
I mean, the result would have been the exact same, right? Without Saban or with him.
Yeah, sounds like it would have been worse if Saban was there. Sounds like they were a little bit, but
I'm just saying, like, he's a process guy, right? He's a program guy. He's not calling the plays.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Couple of highlights for me. Notre Dame has now wrapped up a spot in the ACC playoff because the system's corrupt. They didn't want Miami to make the game, so they canceled one of Notre Dame's. They automatically qualified, which is a bunch of BS. Iowa State beat Texas. That was a pretty close game.
That's your second favorite team this year, though. You gonna ditch them now? Notre Dame? Hadn't you picked them like 10 times?
Get out of here. All right, man.
Yeah, he did. Oregon
I did
lost.
pick Notre Dame to beat North Carolina minus 13.5 and that pulled out. So I will say that.
Oregon lost, so Pac-12 is officially out. Or I
Yep.
guess not official, but pretty much.
Well, has USC lost?
Yeah, I think it's not. No, but I don't think they've beaten a team that has won a game. Is what I heard. I didn't confirm that myself, but somebody said that on some podcast.
Michigan lost again. I'm wondering at this point, are they just waiting till the end of the season to fire him? There's no way they're keeping him, right?
Yeah. Who loses their job quicker, Jeremy Pruitt or Jim Harbaugh?
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
We
They
got
both
some
lose their
openings down
job.
on our analyst staff. They can come on down and do some tape analysis.
Coach 102.
Yeah.
So interesting scenario that might play out, which Kirk Herbstreit accused Michigan of potentially pulling a COVID excuse so they don't have to play Ohio State and get their ass kicked by them. But what's funny there is if Ohio State does not play that game, then based on the rules, they cannot qualify for their conference championship.
Dude, the point is, everybody thinks that Ohio State is one of the top 4 teams, and they're going to get it no matter what. Whatever is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. It's a crazy year. They're going to change the rules.
I honestly don't know about that, man.
Well, the Big 12 championship, maybe not, but playoff, I don't know.
If they don't play this week, I mean, if they don't play next week and they only got 5 games, and you got Texas A&M that only has 1 loss, I could see SEC country start talking up and they say Alabama, Texas A&M, and then Clemson, Notre Dame.
Texas A&M, beat LSU last week 20-7.
They beat you guys.
I know they beat us, but that was like one hit wonder. It's like,
Just saying, they only got 1 loss. So I could see Texas A&M potentially jumping Ohio State, or even crazier. You guys beat Alabama, which I don't think is going to happen. You guys beat Alabama. You don't think Alabama will jump Ohio State?
I mean, I have no idea what the rankings are right now, but is Ohio State above Alabama?
No. Alabama's 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson 3, Ohio State 4.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You're saying if there's somebody else that's supposed to be a shoo-in loses a game, then yeah, Ohio State could be out at that point. Yeah, sure. But Alabama's going to win.
Well, I think the only scenario would be if you guys beat Alabama, right? Is the one that's the only one you're thinking where Ohio State will be out.
I'm not thinking that. I'm not thinking that because we're not going to win that
game. Well, the thing is though, for Ohio State, I mean, first of all, Herbstreit, I think, is a punk for saying that. And that's
he came out and apologized.
Yeah, and that's what he does. And people give him, they cut him slack. But he takes these little pop shots at teams. He's done it in the past. Alabama, he's done it to other teams too. But now he's done it to Michigan. And if they don't play the game and they don't get 5, is it 5 wins or not 5 wins, but 5 games or 6 games? How
they
many?
have to get 6. Right now they're at 4.
Yeah.
And this week it'll be 5.
Well, it's supposed to be the average. They have to play at least the average amount of games. And I think that's
so
6.
Yeah, so it sounded like to me that I don't really think he's legitimately worried. I think they're going to put them in if they're undefeated at the end of the year, whether they got 5, 6, 7, or 4. Ohio State's going to get in there because that's what makes the money. That's what pays the bills. I mean, you want Ohio State in there, you want Clemson, you want Alabama, and you want Notre Dame. I mean, there couldn't be. I mean, if you threw out Clemson and put like Texas in there, you could probably do a little bit better, right? But otherwise, you got the whole country covered.
Now, see, Steven, you just brought up another topic. Texas A&M might be in there. I mean, Texas might be in there in 2 years because I'm hearing Urban Meyer to Texas. Done deal.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Now, Texas A&M to Texas or Texas A&M?
To Texas.
Oh, okay.
Replacing Herman. I'm hearing it might be a done deal. And I'm hearing part of it is Urban wants to get back at Herman because they think Herman's the rat that snitched on him. So, be interesting. But could you imagine Urban Meyer at Texas? He's bringing them to the national championship, the playoffs within 2 years, right? Guaranteed.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
That dude doesn't fail. I hate him with a passion, but I mean, I would love for him to be my coach.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you're right about that. He's built some programs. So I just wonder how long it's going to take at Texas. So,
But it shouldn't. I mean, they got a plethora of talent in the state. If they just keep their kids and get a couple of Louisiana kids, game over. The only exception would be if one of our schools could keep all Florida kids in state, which we can't because freaking Alabama keeps stealing every star receiver that we ever get.
Just got to pay more, man. Pay more.
That's right.
Texas can pay more, which I don't understand why they're not just killing everybody in recruiting because they can definitely pay more.
That is true.
I mean, if Southern Methodist University can pay like an athlete in the 70s like $50,000, shit. Imagine what they can pay today.
Yeah, it's that natural gas market taking away the money from the oil companies, man, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no other games really talk about. I mean, so if you guys have anything, we can. Otherwise, we can move on to picks for the week. And if you notice, I haven't mentioned Auburn because I won't mention them anymore. I'm not mentioning them, but so we'll move on.
They could take Texas A&M out of the race this week.
Is that one of your picks? You gonna pick it now?
No, I'm not gonna pick it. I'm not.
All right. I'll start off, I guess.
How many you got?
I got 7. And it's a shit show, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't been paying attention to sports at all.
All right, hold on. First of all, we need an update on what your record is. And
yeah, so
we need some trash talk going on here because there's going to be some trash talking later, I'm sure.
So prior to 2 weeks ago, since that's the last time we talked to you guys, I was 16-10, right in a 10-game winning streak, I think. I was in the top 10 longest streaks in bet spurts. I immediately went from 2 followers to 27. Unfortunately, that week I went 0-6. And the next week I went 500. So I'm now 26-26, perfectly average, a perfect square.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've now lost a follower. Somebody just dropped me today. So I went from 27 followers to 26. So I got 26 followers, 26 wins, and 26 losses. So we'll see what we can do this week. My first game I got Wisconsin, Indiana. I got Wisconsin at -14. Indiana lost quarterback to torn ACL. So simply because of that, I'm going Wisconsin -14.
Well, let's back up a step. I mean, let's talk about your record. So you're basically 500, right? Which is not bad if you're batting cleanup for the Atlanta Braves. That'd be freaking great record. But you are a square. That's really kind of high for a square, right? Because I mean, we definitely know your betting patterns by now. We've been watching the show for several weeks now. We know that you like to bet you like to take the points, and you never bet on the underdog. You're very streaky, and you bet with the teams that you like. There's no analysis involved. There's just what you feel like is going to happen, and that's the way we should bet on the show. This is the Square Show, and we appreciate you coming on here, putting your record into. I'm giving you love here. You man up. You put your stuff in bet spurt. You ride the streaks up and down. You gain followers. You lose followers, but at the end of the day, you're still the Square, and that's what the show's about. Now,
I appreciate somebody on the show has to stick to what we're about. We got other people. We got the other 50% of pickers on the show that try to act fancy and try to act like they're above the other ones, other squares in this world. And I try to stay true to who we are and what we're about. So I appreciate that, Steven.
Yeah. What's the old betting saying about if you can't find the tail in the room, the tail is probably you? Ronnie, if you can't find the square in the room, it's probably you. Unfortunately, there's 2 other ones in the room, so it's not you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Ronnie, you up? You gonna give us your record and brag a little
Yeah.
bit?
Actually, I need to go back and look at what my record is. I said 22-6, but I think I might have skipped a week. So it's like mid-20s. I lost about 10.
Oh my God!
Fake,
Here we go.
Whatever it is.
fake.
But I mean, go back and watch the shows.
Dude, I really need to learn how to do effects on here so I can just label like a fake news thing on Ronnie's screen just every time he talks about what his record is.
I don't have to talk about my record. It stands for itself. Watch the shows. You can get
It
the
doesn't
takes.
stand for itself because nobody can find it.
Just go watch the show.
No, we didn't have a show last week.
Oh, we didn't make any picks last week. I didn't add any picks from last week.
See, you're not being good to your fans. The very few
Maybe-
3 followers you got, or 1 follower. I think I'm the
They
only
didn't have a
follower.
show last week, so yeah, you probably are. So
Okay, but you're
I-
about what 70%, something like that.
yeah, unsustainable is what it is. So I'm about to come crashing down, especially with this first pick. So we got Texas and Kansas State. I think Texas is packing it in for the year after that loss there. They got 1 game left. I heard their star O lineman and their star D back opted out after the loss Saturday to prep for the draft. And I know K State, they had a pretty tough stretch late, which I think kind of adds more value to the line. Like the line will probably be a little bit closer. It's 7 favored Texas. So it probably would have been a little tighter line if K State has been had played a little better the last few games. So I say take the points here with K State and go home with a win.
All right. How many you got, Ronnie, in total?
4.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I always got to carry this show. All right. So my next pick. Yeah. My next pick, again, did 0 research here. Going NC State -6.5 against Georgia Tech. NC State played us close. They also beat Liberty. Georgia Tech's terrible. Everybody thought they might be decent when they blew out Florida State earlier this year, but they've proven to be pretty bad. Still trying to get over their triple option team talent. So I got NC State -6.5.
Okay. All right. So my next pick is the Florida Tennessee game, and I'm going to take the Florida team points over here. I was thinking about taking the game over the total of 62.5, but Tennessee has 16 players out with COVID and at least 1 QB. They wouldn't say which one, but last week they benched Garantano or like a freshman or a sophomore or something like that came in for the game and actually did okay. So I'm not sure who's going to be at quarterback. I don't think it really matters. I just don't know with 16 players out if they're going to be able to hold up their end of the bargain to get us over the 62.5. So I say take the Florida team points over here, and the line is 62.5. And the team totals aren't out yet. The line is 62.5. Florida's favored by 17.5. So I'm pretty sure the team total for Florida is going to be 35.5. So it'd be Florida 35.5 over. Also, if you're watching this game, the last probably 3 or 4 games, Florida comes out pretty flat in the first half. If that happens again, and the score is kind of close come halftime, we'll look to take the second half over. We've definitely performed a lot better in the second half, and we should be putting up a lot of points in this game. And Tennessee has been outscored 108-14 in the second half in the last 5 games. So look for Florida's second half if it's a good play, but take the Florida team points over here.
You said
Alrighty.
you said Florida. What's your bet? Is it for points or over and under?
Yeah,
It's a bet that doesn't exist yet. He's trying to make up crap.
I mean, if anything,
That's basically
it's basic math, 62.5, 17.5. Like if we're gonna win by 17.5 and the total is 62.5, it's got to be what 35. So Florida's team points total is going to be 35.5. That's what's going to
Ronnie.
be.
That's
So-
only 52 points.
So you're placing a bet that's not on the board.
Yeah, basically, and he's doing his math wrong because that's like 54 points or something like that.
Right. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not. Just saying. 42 and a half. 45 and a half.
So
still,
if
it doesn't matter. Florida team points over.
So if you were picking points on this with Florida and minus 17 and a half, which way would you tend to go?
I would play the over 17, or I would lay the 17 and a half with Florida, but I don't like playing that many points. It's probably going to be a win, but somehow Tennessee's going to get some backdoor cover. We're going to play like crap, and I don't need to make my Saturday more miserable if we play terrible. So I'm not doing that. Over team points, 45 and a half. Sorry, Ricky. I did do my math wrong there.
It's all good. Somebody's got to call somebody up. All right, I'll give two picks now, just since Ronnie's only got 4. And I think he might have some of these. But Clemson, Virginia Tech, Clemson minus 22. Clemson last week decided they were going to be pissed off because the FSU stuff and blew out Pittsburgh. I think Clemson's going to continue to try to destroy teams since they have that loss on their record, just to make sure there's no doubt. But I mean, I think they're going to beat Notre Dame next in the ACC championship, so it's not going to matter. But so I got Clemson minus 22. And then I got USC, Washington State. I got USC minus 12.5. Washington State, they don't got Leach anymore. That's USC's better team. So minus 12.5.
Yeah, I like the Clemson pick. I personally took the Clemson minus 21.5. But I didn't want to give it up because, it's a lot of points. Wasn't that confident. But I do like the pick. So my next game is Oregon State and Utah. So if Oregon State had a starting QB, I probably wouldn't take Utah, but I think Utah is a play here. Oregon State, they have an awesome running back, but with their QB getting hurt late last week, I think he pulled a hammy. They pretty much said he's doubtful for the game. And if you saw him after the game last week, you definitely or be pretty confident he's not going to play. Their backup QB is a JUCO transfer. They're not really sure how good he's going to be. Obviously he probably didn't get a lot of reps in during the summer because of COVID. So I'm just banking on the QB JUCO transfer, which is kind of a wild card. They're not going to be good enough, and Utah's defensive strength is against the run. I think they're averaging only 90 rushing yards against them on defense. So also Oregon State could probably still have their head in the clouds after their big win last week against their in-state rival to knock them out of any college football playoff contention. So I would lay the 11.5 with Utah here.
All right. 2 other picks I got. Oregon against California. I got Oregon minus 9. Oregon's going to probably be pissed off losing that game last week because when I went to bed at the end of the third quarter, they were up by, I think, 10 points. So I thought they had that game under control. Oregon's just a better team. And the next one I got is BYU Coastal Carolina, the game of the week. BYU stepping up, trying to find an opponent. Found a ranked Coastal Carolina team as their opponent. I see BYU. I got BYU minus 10. I think BYU is pretty pissed at how disrespected they've been in these playoff rankings and going to want to make a statement as much as possible. I think they would have. I'm surprised they didn't try to find an even higher ranked team to try to get another game in there. But yeah, so I got BYU minus 10.
Yeah. So I'm on the opposite side of Ricky. We're going head to head here. I love that this game is happening. I love the anytime, any place mentality of BYU. But I think Coastal Carolina is going to cover. They could get the win here as well. Both teams, they've had the same amount of time to prepare. They didn't even, I don't think, schedule this game until Wednesday. But I think Coastal is probably already locked in this week with their big game against Liberty. with game day coming to town, and then BYU. They were kind of going to have a bye week this week, kind of halfway preparing for San Diego State next week. They're probably halfway planning their mission trip for the end of the year. So I love the fact that Coastal Carolina is going to feel disrespected being 10-point dogs. And I probably shouldn't play this, but I'm so excited to see what's going to happen in this game that I definitely wanted to be in on it. So I think this is some good college football right here. And
I can't believe
take the points.
I can't believe they couldn't find a way to put this on one of the. I know it's on ESPNU, but I can't believe they couldn't find a way to put this on one of the bigger channels so everybody could watch it, because there's a lot of terrible games this week. There's not too many exciting games.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing, and I'm pulling it up now to see who's playing in the same time slot.
It's 5:30 p.m. game. It's on. I got it on the screen. It's 5:30 p.m. I'm not sure what time zone these.
There's
times
all
are in.
Eastern. They're all Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Oregon, California is on ESPN at 6.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they is Coastal Carolina the home team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so BYU is going to get on a plane in Utah and fly across the country to Carolina. I guess it's North Carolina, right?
It's South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
Is it South Carolina?
Yeah.
And they're going to play a game last minute. Okay. This will be fun, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they'll definitely be the game that I'm watching. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more pick. They're trying to make us not play anybody. They don't want to show us any respect. They tried to already kick us out of the ACC championship. They keep having crap teams like Iowa State jump us in the rankings. So we're going to come out and make a statement. I don't even know who's going to be on the field, to be honest with you, because we had so many COVID cases in Miami. Our coach got COVID. He's apparently going to be able to coach the game, though. It's been past 10 days, I think. So I got Miami minus 14.5. Getting ready to blow them out, play UNC next week, blow them out again, and get ready to beat the doors off Florida in the Orange Bowl in January. So this is just the beginning of so any true Miami fan, if they remember back in 2000, we had that one loss at the beginning of the year, and then we started going on a roll, and then that brought us into 2001, the greatest team of all time, the Miami Hurricanes from 2001. So I feel similar momentum being built in this team, where if everybody returns next year, watch out for Miami National Championship 2021, 20-year anniversary of the greatest team ever. Oh,
Dude. That's cool that you can hope for next year with Miami, because this year you still got Notre Dame in the mix for teams you love this year. So
get the hell out of here!
That's pretty cool.
Jesus Christ, man! You're gonna bring me down like that from a high. You're gonna bring me down like that and disrespect me like that.
Hey,
Jesus Christ!
You're the one that had the love affair, swiping right all over the place, or is it left? I don't even know. Swiping whatever all over Notre Dame's jock the whole year.
What are you talking about? I was
Dude,
swiping right on Alabama's jock more on the season.
This is the Squares show. We don't pick teams we hate, dude. We just don't do it. Even if it'll make us money. We'd rather lose money than pick a team we hate. Because we're in this.
Unfortunately, the problem is I hate a lot of teams, so I wouldn't have too many picks. I'd be picking like the MAC games and stuff if I only picked teams that I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of that, like picking teams however you want them, think about this. What if we leave some schedule openings during?
Did he freeze on you?
Yeah, he froze.
He was about to make an epic statement, ladies and gentlemen. I think Steven might have got for the Antifa conference. They're finally shutting down his service.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
The other.
I can FBI couldn't get a hold
Yeah,
of them.
we're
They
back.
can't stop them.
Anyway, I was just saying that I really like this idea of a surprise game that matters, dude. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome if like Notre Dame said, we got an open game in the schedule. We're playing UWF Argos, and then they can play a real football game, right? A game that matters.
That's right. They would have a chance.
Yep, that's true. That's true, and they could do Central Florida too. We could, Central Florida's talking shit during the middle of the year. You just say, hey, I got an open date. Come on down. Let's see who's got the juice. And that way you can't like plan for stuff. Like you can't like,
Trickeration and crap like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the way Auburn does that shit. So just stuff like that. I think it's cool.
Yeah, man.
Surprise games, dude.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be more exciting. That's why I'm all for 16, 18 playoff. Something that gets more of these like crazy matchups, man. Come on.
No. Why? Let's talk about this because everybody keeps talking about. Every time I turn this on Saturday on watch a game, one of the announcers starts talking about somewhere. I hope we get 8 teams. I hope we get more teams. What does that do? We already have a playoff. It's the and win your games and get in. We don't need to keep playing. All you're doing is you're giving chances like teams like Texas A&M who lost earlier in the year. They got a loss. They'll jump in there on that second tier, and it's just they're just we know they're not championship material. So why even let them in?
It sounds like you're not.
It's been working for Steven, so that's why he's not interested in this format.
Yeah, no,
I'm talking about
you just want more chances. You just want more chances to try to win because you can't win during the year. I mean, how many chances are you going to get?
No, listen. I want the same exact thing that they do in Division II and FCS. I want the same exact format. Play 10 games, and then you go into the playoffs. And some things can happen. Look at UWF. Twice got to the national championship and was like the lowest ranked team that got into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
And how exciting was that when to see them win? That was freaking awesome. If we would have been like the team that beat everybody all season long, it still would have been awesome, but it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is you're wanting someone like Oklahoma State to get hot at the end of the year and win it.
Dude, I would 100% love to see BYU just go on a run or Coastal Carolina go on a run if that was to work out that way.
Yeah.
If my team wasn't in it, because you got to think, okay, say 16 teams get in. That means 100 schools hate every one of those 16 teams, and they're just going to pick like the BYUs of the world or the whatever schools, and then root for them.
You guys are just like those boxers. You get your shot, you get knocked out, and you want a rematch, and you get your ass knocked out again, and you want another rematch. I mean, you have a season. Win your games during the year. If you win all your games during the year, you'll be in the top 4.
That's not what's happening in Cincinnati or BYU right now.
Well, we know those teams are not, guys. You know those teams are not the best teams.
You don't know
yes,
that.
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do know that.
No. I think
because how many games are we going to end up playing? 25 games in a year?
We only play 12. Let's play 10.
There's no way they're going to cut the games back now they got the revenue. Period. You're not doing that.
I 100% agree with you.
Okay.
I think Cincinnati could beat everybody but Alabama in any given day. Not like they wouldn't, not like 50-50, but I think they could beat Notre Dame.
That's kind of not the point, though. But could they go and play at home against Arkansas and then turn around and go and play in LSU and then come back home and play against Florida and then go on the road and play against Texas A&M and then play against Georgia and then get the championship game and beat somebody else? I mean, that's the point here of the SEC. I mean, the Cincinnati, I can beat Rice and Toledo and freaking, all those other little scrub teams. Conference matters. The teams you play, the games you play in the regular season matter. Otherwise, why have a season?
No, but I'm saying
have a playoff.
Let them only play
4 teams.
No, let them play their. We need to. What I honestly think should happen is you either make 8 conferences or 16 conferences, however you want to do it, and then they only play their conference schedule, and then they each get a spot.
Or just do 8
Like
teams.
redo. Forget the SEC. Miami is now a part of the Southern Conference, which includes Alabama, Florida, Florida State,
Right.
Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Auburn.
Well, if you let 8 teams in, you're gonna start seeing rematches of regular season games, and that just
No,
I
you
mean,
won't.
especially
If you only do
yes,
conference
you will.
champions.
This right? And how about Florida this year? If they get in, if they slip in without even being conference champions,
No, they wouldn't.
they
That's what I'm saying. You don't do it.
Where's
You
that
only do
getting unless
conference
you do?
champions.
wait. So wait a second. You're gonna pick 8 teams, but you're not gonna pick the 8 best teams. You're gonna pick the 8 teams that haven't played yet.
No, I'm
Is that
gonna.
what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yes. Yep.
Well, okay. So you just want more games, is what it is. That's I see. I mean,
Yeah, I don't agree
I
with Ricky
understand
on
if you want
that.
more games. I mean, it should be the 8 best teams. And you're gonna have rematches. You're gonna have rematches of Clemson and Notre Dame. You're gonna have rematches of the same stuff you've already seen because we know who the best teams are. We've had a whole year to do it. The
No,
sample
but
size is big enough.
you don't think if there was 8, if 8 separate teams, forget the conferences, you don't think that would end up building up other schools?
If
Because
there was
now,
what?
say you did 8 team playoff where it was 8 conference champions, right? That got into the game. You don't think those other schools will start becoming more popular because now those players know I can still make the playoffs?
Be more popular. Yeah,
I'm
I
saying
mean,
like
I think it could definitely help on that, but I think it's going to be the same thing as the 64 teams in the basketball tournament. People are going to get mad because they're not the 65th team or 66. I mean, at the end of the day, we have a season. It matters. That's just my opinion, guys. I understand though. It would be kind of cool to see some of these games like BYU, maybe a play-in game against the 4th seed or something, or that could be interesting. But just having more and more playoff games, it seems like to me you're trying to get teams that would normally win it because they don't have the firepower. You're giving them the upset chances, which they had that chance during the year. And to me,
but
that's like more Auburns. That's more Auburns. That's more scrub teams like Auburns and
to,
LSU's and the Floridas.
to me it means more competitive games. Because if you have a 10 game schedule and then those playoff games, every one of those playoff games are going to be relatively competitive. Where Alabama, you play one like hard game a year. Florida plays
Say that
one hard
again.
game a year.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
ACC, what now?
Yeah. Whatever. Now.
No, but
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Even
This is
Miami, Miami plays one
this
hard game a year. We played Clemson.
this
That's it.
Yeah, this is turning into a really Giuliani conference on voting fraud. This is ridiculous. One hard game a year. Yeah,
Who do
okay.
you, who
I
did
mean,
you guys play that was tough this year?
compared to who? Compared to who else? Name another team who's played a tougher schedule.
Florida.
But by the end of the year, if we win, we'll have played Florida. We'll have played Texas A&M, 2 top 5 teams, 2 top 10 teams.
Because there's a bias towards the SEC.
Oh my God! See, here we
Jesus
go
Christ,
again.
we all know this. We all
There
know
we go.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, just because we
Unbelievable.
beat our teams, we're in a Power 5 conference, is the best conference, and we beat our
Not the best
teams like we
conference.
do.
Look what
So
happens in the NFL. And none of these SEC players do anything in the NFL usually.
You have any data about that?
oh my God.
I do have data to back this up. Go look at the top
They
players.
Bring
they
it next show. Bring your data.
they
I
just
will.
they just found some more votes in Pennsylvania, dude. We're gonna overturn this shit.
I'm telling you, the top players usually
Okay.
not the SEC.
I will give you this. I will give you that we could get
They
some
lose
more
their daddies.
interesting some more some more interesting games. We could get some more interesting games. I agree with that. But as an Alabama fan, we were in a playoff. We used to win all the time before the playoff. Now we don't win it quite as much because of the playoff. And you guys want to expand the playoff and take more and more away from us.
See, you're
Yeah,
starting to hear the
before
storyline.
we would have 27 national championships if the playoff hadn't started. Seriously.
There would be less. I agree with you that like the 9th and 10th teams are going to want to get in because the 18 playoff, but nobody's going to care that much really at all. Besides those
Yeah, they
teams.
will. Yeah, they will. But so who all would get in from the SEC this year? If we had an 18 playoff, it would be Alabama, Texas A&M, and Florida. We've all played each other.
No,
it
would just be
all
Alabama.
Power 5 conferences get in. you get one or two. You get a non-Power 5 team guaranteed to get in, and then 2 at large.
Okay, and how about this? How about we just let a Division II team in as well too?
Let's
Throw them in the mix.
Baby. Let's do it.
You don't in the house.
Or what's the team in North Dakota? Bring them in too. Let's just give them a shot as well. And then maybe the
You don't
Birmingham.
know, they're not that good. You don't know.
Well, no, I mean that's what I'm saying.
Pac-12 isn't that good because nobody plays them.
We're just handing out slots because it's fun. It's not really a thing. It's just a thing. Just hand out some game tickets. Come on, guys.
Yeah, this is Steven still being upset about the Sarah Fuller thing. Women trying to invade football, and he's all upset about it.
No, I'm just saying. You guys can't win the regular season. Now you want to try to slide in the playoff and beat somebody, and feel big about it, and that's just not right.
See, this is
three games to win it all. So it's not exactly. They're not going to get the championship unless they show up at all 3 games.
See, this is Steven being like Trump, okay? First, he doesn't want a vote to happen. That's how Alabama won national championships before, right? Just some press people decided the thing. They didn't have to play games. Then we got into the electoral college, so they started winning some games on these semi-playoffs and these 1-game championships. Now we're trying to go the popular vote, the right way to decide a presidency, and Steven's against it because he knows he's going to lose.
That's true, but let's talk about math. If you take away all of your AP championships, all of them, and I'll take away all of mine, I still have 100% more than you got. How about that for some math, Biden?
I think that was a good ending to the show.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, at least we know what to bring out when we want to get hot at each other. Cool, guys. Awesome.
Right. See you next week.
All right, guys. You guys stay safe. Stay away from the COVID.
Yep, you too.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Out. Peace out.